All right, good afternoon, everyone. In case you was wondering what Hap-Been-In, today we're at the Beaver Falls Historical Museum. We're gonna make a quick trip around. Come on, follow me. Can say hello to Miss Nancy. I'm one of the volunteers here at the Historical Museum.
Hello.
Hard worker and keeping everything in order for you to come down and visit her. She's always looking.
We're trying.
All right, good job. They have quite a collection here. I'm sure they have many things that's not even displayed. I like to hang out here at times myself, either researching some of the subjects I'm working on or just interested in looking at some of the old material. Many of the businesses in town are all documented here with many of their archives. Armstrong Court from way back in the beginning period where the dams were on the Beaver River. Come on up this way. It's a special artifact I'd like to show you. We've got Beaver Falls Cutlery Company and Mayor China. Any old business you can think of involving the history of Beaver Falls. This is one of my favorite artifacts right here, though. It's an ice bike built by Mr. Foster in Homewood back in 1861. He was an interesting character. He was in the Civil War, come out as a sergeant. He was buried in my Homewood cemetery. They used to run this on the Beaver River. It was kind of an ice machine that you could pump. It had a grinding wheel in the back. Dug into the ice. And they go scooting down the river on that bad boy. That's high tech for 1861. Foster was an interesting character. He's buried in my Homewood cemetery. His father pretty much founded that town, or was one of the very early founders, building the store that's still standing out there today. The house is still standing. Had a big hand in building the Homewood Methodist Church also. The interesting story on Mr. Foster and his brother-in-law would be Mr. Carner, were railroad carpenters. And in 1881, they got killed on the Brady's Run overpass, pumping a handcar trying to get to a job. It's an interesting story about Garfield as president. It's also an interesting local story. If you find a book called Rivers of Destiny, has a very good story in it. Let's go on down this way to another one of my favorites. Sports memorabilia, championships, different people who's played in the area. It's really a nice museum. Here's another one of my favorites right here, Mr. Sparky. You gotta remember Sparky. If you grew up in the baby boom period of the 50s and 60s, the Beaver Falls Police Department had their own Dalmatian. Actually, I guess there were several of them in succession there, but they would bring them around on the fire truck to the school, and Sparky was just the cat's meow for all of us kids at school. Any parade, those types of events going on at that period were just exciting times with the fire department and Sparky. Is there anything you'd like to say, Miss Nancy?
No, you're doing a good job.
Oh, I appreciate that. What year is this? 1900. We're getting ready to do a presentation down here for the Historical Society on June 15th. We'll be doing a music program, the history of Beaver Falls music at the turn of that century, 1900. One of the interesting facts is the Beaver County chapter of the Musicians Union was founded in 1901 in Beaver Falls. We have pictures of the original charter. Come on down and see us. We're going to talk about old-time music prior to that, the time period before television and radio. We're going to tell you about stringed instruments a lot and how family bands and bands in the area would get together and share those socializing times. We're going to go back out here. I'd like to tell you one more thing before we go. The Beaver Falls Historical Society has several books for sale. This is one of them. This is an Arcadia edition. They do small towns all over America. The president of the Historical Society here, Kenneth Britton, he organized this book, and it takes us back as far as pictures go, all through Beaver Falls area. Families, there's church sections, transportation, schools. It's all in here. It's well worth the effort. You can find that at the Historical Museum. You can write for a copy. Their address is 1301 7th Avenue, Beaver Falls, 15010. That would be Beaver Falls Historical Society at the Carnegie Library, 1301 7th Avenue. If you want to call and talk to the ladies, their phone number is 724-494-2439. Call them for any information that you'd like to have. With that, I guess I'll sign off today. Don't forget to visit all of your local historical museums. There's a lot of good volunteer work going on out there, and a lot of good folks filled with knowledge who want to share it with you. So what's happening today? The Beaver Falls Historical Museum.